And you're live here on the JoyNews channel. That was our coverage of the now daily briefings from the Information Ministry on COVID-19, the situation and the easing of restrictions as announced by President Akufo-Addo on Sunday. We had the Education Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, breaking it down for us for all levels of education, from the GHS senior high school to the tertiary level. And just some highlights, if you missed anything there: foreign students will be allowed into the country. They'll have their passport details forwarded to the various institutions and onward to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, who will ensure that they facilitate their movement into the country. They do not anticipate so many people because per the calculations, many of the foreign students were in the country and were taken care of by the universities before the lockdown. We also know that there will be an aggressive campaign to encourage students to go back to school. The Education Minister did say, especially for rural areas, and if you must have heard some parents say they wouldn't allow their children go back to school. Well, that assurance has been given that all will be done to make the school environment very safe, and for that matter, that campaign will be underway shortly. Now, schools will not be available for religious activities. You do know that in this country, some schools are used as churches, especially during the weekends, and for other religious activities. The minister says to avoid less contact and to also limit restrictions, the schools will not be available for religious activities during this period. It is also important to know that there'll be no visiting in senior high schools during the period. All students, final years, who will be in the boarding house preparing for their final year exam will not be allowed to receive visitors. Parents will not be allowed into the school as well. Also, for schools that run both day and boarding systems, the day students will be admitted into the school to help control movement. However, if the school is a completely day school, then what the authorities will do is to ensure that the strict adherence to the social distancing protocols, as well as the other protocols, hand washing and the use of sanitizers, among other things. The health experts have advised against facilitating or putting these students in a bus, because they say that will not help as far as COVID-19 is concerned. The GES, that's the Ghana Education Service, and the Ghana Health Service have aligned schools to various health facilities in the districts, and that is to ensure that in a case where you have a positive case, the patient or the person can be easily isolated, transferred, and taken care of, with contact tracing also happening almost immediately. Class sizes, we have been told, will be split to ensure social distancing as well. And so these are the major highlights. For JHS students, you'll be spending 11 weeks in school, and also the issue about daily testing, because we have some non-teaching staff who do not live in the school, and even for teachers, well, that will not happen because we are just being advised to adhere to the protocols. A case may be negative today, but we are told that that could change in the next minute, and so daily testing is not necessarily the way to go. But all students will get a set of face masks for free by the Ghana Education Service.